You guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee! Coffee, 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 coffee!
God damn, Jimmy. That's some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Christ almighty fuck. Welcome to the show that lasts as long as my coffee. I'm just having one of these fucking days. Internet's down to 1 bar right now. I'm trying to do a show in fucking 1 bar. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good morning. I am not. Jesus, man. What I am seeing is just maddening. Hollywood is, and this is something I worried about all along, is that when people who are very destructive feel the end is coming, go insane in a slash and burn. You'll see it in bad relationships. You'll see it everywhere. You'll find that one employee that's about to get fired. I mean, you've seen extremes where they just go nuts and like attack people. This is what you're seeing right now. We saw it with the beginning of this with Doctor Who, when the BBC realized that their plan failed. What did they do? They sat back for a second, and Sony took over, and they were going to create a whole new Doctor Who, bringing back the director who revived Doctor Who. Okay, now this is a guy who is openly gay. Okay, but what he was focused on and interested in was telling good stories. The BBC wasn't going to have that. He hired his new doctor, Toby Stephens, shot the new generation scene where he generates from the previous iteration of whatever the fuck that was, with under Chris Chibnall. The BBC can't allow that. The woke saw the end and said, no, we're going to slash and burn and destroy it all. So now you've got this new iteration. They fired Toby Stephens unceremoniously because this doesn't represent what we want. The BBC. And so the cool looking doctor who looks like we're finally moving in the right direction is fired and replaced with, I don't know what to even fucking call what they're doing now. It's not Doctor Who. It's not even related to it. The DNA is gone. This is some weird woke fucking identity politics show that was stolen from us. Stolen. Because they can do it.
Because they can't create their own.
Yeah. If I can't make something of my own, I will take what you have and I will burn it to the fucking ground. That's what they're doing. She-Hulk twerking? What the fuck are they doing? What are they doing? It's insanity. Kidding aside, man. It's madness, man. It's pure fucking madness. And we're seeing this across the board. those that are about to be fired at DC knew it was coming. They saw it coming. When they lost their offices, they knew what was coming. And so, like some insane Oprah Winfrey going, you got a car, they're like going, Batman is gay, Superman is bi, Superboy is in love with another boy. Every character needs to have identity politics thrown on them. We are going to destroy everything you love and cherish. Why? There's no reason to this. There's no rhyme. It's just fucking insane wanton destruction of things that are beloved by other people. You know, this isn't the mindset of people who are interested in equality, getting along, peace. This is something else. This is absolute wanton destruction of things that's not theirs. Even though I know quite a few people in the community who love the way things were and don't understand what this destruction is about. And we're watching it. And I got to tell you, man, as excited as I can get over what guys like Zaslav is doing, they see it too. They know that the end is on nigh for what they're doing. And they would rather completely destroy it than let you have it back. And it's fucking sad. It's pathetic. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a private message from one of our, my favorite member of the audience, Anima. Everybody knows I'm fucking mad about her. And she says, "You're so grumpy this morning." She knows me. Oh, Lauren is in the chat and also behind me. I got to tell you, man, I hate feeling like this. I really do. But when I see some of the shit that I swear to God, our buddy, Valiant Renegade, man, posted that fucking video of fucking She-Hulk twerking. I can't help but feel like Charlton Heston in fucking Planet of the Apes.
It's a madhouse!
I swear to Christ. And I almost feel like crying. I'm so fucking torn over what they're fucking doing. I sat there and I was like, look at all this news coming out of DC Comics. These fuckers are fired, man. Zaslav is so sick of their bullshit that he won't even fucking house them anymore. Do you understand that? Warner Brothers Discovery don't even want to have them in the same fucking building. It's so bad over there. We've been telling you this for a decade. It's bad. It's bad. I couldn't find work. I lost a fucking job over that shit. I can't talk about it because it can actually hurt people if I talk about what happened to me with Marvel Comics. I got blacklisted because of things. And I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm getting old. I don't care. I'm old and I'm grumpy. I'm sorry I'm ranting, but God damn it, I'm fucking irritated and tired of this shit. It's like, look, man, when you know people are destructive, you have to go in quickly. And I blame some of these fucking heads that are waking up to, oh, well, look, we've lost, look, when we do an audit, we're going to find out we've lost probably billions of fucking dollars to these idiots. We let the fucking lunatics run the madhouse. And instead of just fucking going in and stopping it, they're allowing it to get worse. And they're allowing them to do more damage than they are doing. The BBC absolutely burned down the house of Doctor Who. Tell me where I'm fucking wrong.
You're not.
I'll tell you you're full of shit if you do. John is correct. I'm not wrong. You have to be a good observer of people to spot things. And, anybody who really knows me knows that I'm a keen observer of behavior. And what we're seeing is the last ditch effort to do as much damage as possible before they're fired. Because managers don't know what the fuck they're doing. And it's a sad fucking day. And you should. We're going to have to say goodbye to a lot of properties because they've been that damaged by this shit. Alex Kurtzman, come on. Were you really surprised that he threatened Paramount with Alex Kurtzmaning his third season of Picard? I don't know if that season's going to be good. I like to believe in Robert Meyer Burnett. I really do. I think he's a sharp fucking dude. And when he said that Star Trek Picard season 3 was going to be like something all new, I got excited about it. I don't like getting excited because that means you're opening yourself to being let down. It's like when you open up yourself to loving somebody and them loving you back, you risk having your heart torn out and stomped on the ground, and you wander off dragging your broken heart behind you. That's the cold hard reality with everything when you take a risk. And we take risks every fucking day with these properties. And then we see stupid shit. And we're like, hello? Are you paying attention? And it's sort of like driving down the road and telling your idiot kid to take over driving and jumping in the back seat. And they're like leaning over, trying to grab the wheel. There's nobody controlling the brakes or the pedals. That's what the studio system is like right now. Nobody's fucking steering and driving and controlling the vehicle. The only studio I see physically doing anything is Zaslav. We hear rumblings. Keith brought it up that the head of Paramount threatened, and I know he did. He threatened Alex Kurtzman. He said, go ahead. You do that, and we're going to audit everything you've worked on, you and J.J. Abrams. Yeah, we'll bring both of you down. We know what's going on. But here, these guys are in charge, and they can't seem to fucking do anything but threaten. They're not taking control of their studios. And they're allowing further destruction. And just to fucking add some salt to the fucking wound, we get this fucking ridiculous goddamn article from, I'm fucking tired of Variety, The Wrap, Hollywood Reporter, all of them. They're so fucking in the pocket of these people who have been fired.
It's the one I'm thinking of. It's utter garbage.
I don't believe for a second this is ever going to fucking happen.
Nope.
But Variety wants to write about this shit because they're close friends with these. Every single Hollywood magazine is populated with these fucking people. These woke fucking douche nozzles. That's why I don't trust their stories. So Rian Johnson's new Star Wars trilogy isn't dead yet. Director still meets with Lucasfilm boss and says, it'd break my heart if it goes unmade. I'm not going to read this fucking article. I'm not going to spend your time reading it to you. This is a piece of shit journalism. There's nothing in this story. There's no truth to this. But every single woke person in Hollywood is in panic mode. And this is what you get when they're in panic. They will fucking reiterate stories that you know are bullshit as fact. It's not a fact. Journalism is dead. I've said it for years, and I fucking mean it. And entertainment journalism doesn't exist. It is all about shill pushing the fucking narrative of what they want. This is a fucking... Do you see this right here? Read that. Rian Johnson's new Star Wars. That's a fantasy.
Yeah.
It's a pure fucking fantasy. There's no truth to this.
Well, it's like they're not going to give the guy that made the worst Star Wars movie another trilogy to lose them hundreds of millions more.
I'm sure Kathleen Kennedy wants to because at Lucasfilm right now wants to slash and burn. They want to destroy everything George Lucas built. Everything. And George Lucas, despite some of the stupid shit he did, he loved Star Wars. He loved it, and he loved the fans. He loved us so much that he recognized the fan films and created a means for those films to be seen. You don't see any of that nurturing from these fucking assholes. They hate you. Listen to me. They fucking hate you. They want you to fucking rot and die.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything like Troops today. Disney would jump all over you.
The only way to stop these people is to take control from them. You have to remove them immediately, and if by force. You're hearing these stories of these people, these politically motivated, socially fucking, I'm going to use the word in the actual definition, retarded. They're slowing the process. They're retarding the process. They're retarding any growth. They retard actual change. Good morning, Wade. I'm not grumpy today. No, I'm not, Anima. I'm fucking angry. I wake up and I see this stuff. When Keith shared that with me, man, I felt the bile fucking building up in me. I'm getting so fucking sick of this shit. I know all you guys are too. And they want us to feel helpless. They want to dismiss us. Even though we're the majority, we are the majority. They can act like they're the majority all they want. They're not. They're loud, fucking annoying. It's just like, this is like back in high school. I swear to God, we knew woke people in high school. But they never got their foot into a platform. There were no platforms. They would try to say stupid shit to us. And we would just go, shut up. Take your stupid shit to somebody else. I don't want to listen to you. And so they would congregate in the corner. Quisling.
Well, now they've got Twitter. And corporations and the media all pretend like Twitter's real life, and it's not.
Twitter's in trouble right now. Twitter's in trouble right now. Because the judge ruled, you're shit. Elon Musk is right. You have done something that isn't just unethical. It looks illegal. If he gets Twitter, he's going to get it at the amount he wants to pay. That's what's going to be what happens here. Because the heads of Twitter know they fucked up. Just like everybody in the fucking media.
I think he's just waiting.
Zaslav, the first thing he did was he fucking went into CNN and gutted it. Fired, including his best friend. His fucking golfing buddy fired him.
Yep. Get
the fuck out of here. I can't. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think they're golfing buddies anymore because I think that's what they did.
You're starting a robot there, Gary.
I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it.
You know.
It's just, yeah, because I can see the bar. I see the fucking bar. I watch it. It's right up next to my head. I can see it go from 3 down to 1. And nothing I can do about it. Hell, it's another wonderful day. Yeah. I'm going to say good morning to everybody, even though it's fucking, I'm just so fucking angry right now. Dr. Dragon, good morning. Marshall, I don't know. I thought you were going to come on today, but okay. Let's see. I'm not going to mention you. You're here in the show with me. Of course, Anima Confusa. Monkey Jeebus is here. I'm sorry, Monkey. You've never seen me angry like this. I don't think any of you guys have ever seen me this angry. I'm really fucking angry this morning. I'm just so fed up with this shit. I'm tired of waking up every day and it's something. Every day there's something. Fucking woke assholes. I'm so tired of them. Good morning, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Lauren, of course, is here. Good morning and good morning. Yep, she's back there. D. Bud Martin is here. Good morning. Let's see who else is here. Who else has come in? La Adelita is here. You know, I giggled when I found out that doesn't speak a lick of Spanish. It's like, I fucking made spoke to her in Spanish. And she's I love her. She's got like the greatest American accent, just like straight out. Jacob the critic here is how you doing, my friend? Honestly, Lara Lita says, as a member of the LGBTQ community, we don't want. No, exactly. This is what I'm talking about. I've got a lot of friends, close friends and family members in the gay community. They don't understand this shit. You know, they want original characters. It's like if I want a gay character that represents me, because there always needs to be a form of representation. The problem is they put everything forefront and then they talk about it. Star Trek did it way back. No, they weren't gay. Well, not openly gay, but they were doing things that was so ahead of its time. And what did they do? They just showed it. They didn't talk about it. They did it in private, but they didn't go to the magazines and go, this coming week, you're going to see a black woman kiss a white man. No, you heard the assholes complaining about it. We don't want that on our network. And Star Trek just says, we're going to keep chugging, motherfucker. We're going to keep going. Because that's how you did it. But today's crowd, it's all about, and I just keep making this comparison to the exploitative films of the 60s and going into the 70s that, you know, they were making films for different, there was the Asian market with Hollywood. There was the black market. That sounds like I said black market. No, there was the black community market. And so they started doing exploitative films. And even though it was designed specifically for that community, it was all about making money off of that community. That's what it was about. It wasn't that they were thinking, they were forward thinking. Hollywood never is forward thinking. Everything they do is to either make money or score points. You understand that? It's all fake. You know, there's nothing. And I got in a discussion about it last night. I got into this fight years ago with an actor who said, we feel more as actors. We feel more. I said, no, you're trained at faking feelings. That's what your job is. I was an actor. I'm like, I go out there. I don't want to go out there and slaughter people as some sort of general or go out and assault women with some of the plays I played characters that were like that. That's not me. And how dare you think that you feel better and more than other people? As an actual functioning empath, I'm insulted by that. And they don't. They're really good at faking how they feel. And they become so sold. They're so good at their act. They begin to buy into it themselves. And that's where you see these fucking activist actors. They're not actors anymore. They're activists. They're no longer about the performance of the character they're supposed to play. They're about the point behind it. And they just beat their chests, you know. And I'm reminded as a Catholic of being raised about God loving those who pray in a closet and in private and quiet. Because those who beat their chests in public have already got their reward. Remember that? Anybody that was Christian? We were taught that as kids.
Hey, boss, we have a super chat from Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Sorry. I'm just fucking irritated and angry this morning. Mr. Tickle Trunk with a $2 super chat. Yes, he is a savior, but he can't save Hollywood. He's not going to save Star Trek. He's not going to save Doctor Who. But what he's doing is going to create a cascade effect. No question about it. Every studio is watching. The head of Paramount is watching Zaslav. But the problem is too many of these fucking people are the destroyers that are watching. And they're watching what he's doing. And it's leading to this panic. You don't think it was it's because there's no such thing as coincidence. That all of a sudden every single character in DC was being made into a member of the alphabet community. They couldn't create a new character who was that way. They had to go and they had to take characters that were loved, not just loved, beloved. There is a difference. These are beloved characters. That means they are loved in mass. And they're like, we got to bring them down, man. We can't let these people keep oppressing us. Nobody's oppressing them. They have the freedom to do what they're doing. And instead of being productive, they're being destructive. Explain that to me. How that's being proactive.
They won't even use their own characters that are already gay or
There are plenty. There are characters who are different cultures. Just so fucking angry. And Corky's not here, you know. Said he's going to be here, and it's like, so it's just going to be me fucking ranting until Keith stops me.
Well, I have a little ray of sunshine for you. Psycho Woke Ditties has been ousted from Thor 5.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tickle Trunk, you always know just the right thing to fucking just make me stop. And because I got a private message from him last night and I read it to Anima. Like, fucking Tickle Trunk, you cocksucker. I love you so much, man. You really are. You're one of the most. God, you fucking give me shit. And you guys give me shit. And I love that. I love that you guys fuck with me. You know? So, F off, Gary. Geary. Use your own words. I typed that first. Because you know I'm going to read it, you dick. I want to thank you, man. Thank you for both your super chats. God,
there are 3 of them.
Oh, goodness gracious. Zaslav will Cascade. That's right. A lot of people think it's a detergent. No, Cascade actually has a meaning. And it's an important word in culture. It really is. Because you don't want things negatively to cascade. You want them to positively, proactively cascade. But we're seeing wanton destruction across the board because they know the end is on Nye. Not Bill Nye. Bill Nye is a fucking douche nozzle. That guy, I know more about science than that fucker.
Yeah.
He's
another one of those woke assholes.
Yeah, it's like, you know, if he knew science, he would know that not over 98% of impact on our environment and climate is from the sun, not volcanoes, not carbon dioxide. In fact, humans could only on purpose, increase the CO2 levels to a point where we can impact by as much as 3 degrees. That's it. That's a fact. That's all we can do if we were doing it on purpose. Pushing. Because the whole reason it got brought up in the first place back in 1978 was because there was concern over a mini ice age. And they were concerned over what this would do to all plant life on the planet. What impact it could do, because there are a lot more people today than there were in the 1800s. The last time they had a mini ice age. What can we do? And this one guy had this idea. He said, we could conceivably, human intervention, increase possibly by 3 degrees, no more. We could impact the climate by increasing greenhouse gases. That was the first time it was ever used, 1978. Fucking Bill Nye. Fuck Bill Nye. Fuck all these fake scientists. I get so sick of their bullshit. It's like, use real science. Science the shit out of it. Don't fucking try to sell me theology and tell me that it's science. It's not.
I just read what Monkey Jeebus wrote.
Bill Nye calls the dilation of light through soap bubbles chemical. I've heard that, dude. He's so fucking stupid.
Can we
If
please?
you fucking let that guy teach your kids science, shame on you.
Hey, Tom's in the chat.
Hey, Tom's in the chat. Please let's play Mr. Cyclotron thanks video.
Yeah, I'm really just, dude. Fuck. Let me find something here. I'm gonna let this go. We'll probably get ganked, but this is from Keith. Put this up.
Do you know what nemesis means? A righteous infliction of retribution manifested by an appropriate agent. Personified in this case by a horrible cunt. Me.
Best monologue ever.
That's how I'm feeling this morning. I feel like an agent of fucking retribution. I'm fucking angry. But I want to thank you, Tickle Trunk. Christopher Carroll, good morning, man. How are you doing? I apologize. I'm in a dour fucking mood. Tom is here. Tom. Let's see if he can cheer me up. He's a science guy. Shut up, Tom. He had that catchy fucking tune. Bill Nye, the science guy. The fucking engineer. I love Sheldon. For one reason. I don't like that show. But I love Sheldon's comment about engineers. They go, well, we're scientists too. And he goes, no, you're not. Thank you, Sheldon. But I love the Young Sheldon show. I think it's a great show. But I hated that Big Bang Theory show because it was mocking real nerds. It wasn't a loving tribute. Change right now is slow, but change doesn't need to be slow, especially when you've got destructive people. You have to move in quickly. I mean, you heard what happened at the FBI with that one guy that he committed crimes. He hid under the Department of Justice flag with the FBI and used it. He allowed the FBI to be weaponized. And they escorted him physically off the fucking premises. That's how every single one of these people, they need to be removed from their fucking jobs. Not just given papers, walking papers. They need to be fucking removed from the building so the destruction stops. You've got to stop this. They're hemorrhaging. Hollywood is hemorrhaging. And look, Hollywood is a lie factory. I mean, it's just a lie factory. There's always going to be ideological crap within Hollywood. It's always been there. It's always going to be there. You just kind of accept it. But this is unacceptable, what they're doing. It's unacceptable. And clearly it should be to them too, because it's cost them, I'm going to do Carl Sagan here, billions and billions of dollars. And that's why you keep hearing the threats of audits, because once an audit is done, it's basically, they know that they've lost billions of dollars. When you hear the head of Paramount say that, we're going to, you fucking do that, Alex Kurtzman, and we're going to audit everything you've worked on. From Star Trek 2009 to today, we will audit it. What that tells you is they're already aware of what the audit will, it's not a threat unless they already know. So they fucking know. And yet, what are they doing about it? Nothing. Little to nothing.
Well, they always say never ask a question you don't know the answer to.
Exactly. When you hear the head of Paramount threaten Alex Kurtzman with an audit, he already knows what that audit's going to show. So these people aren't stupid. They're aware of it. But they're acting slowly. And change should not. When you have problems like this, doesn't come slowly. This needs to be a quick, swift fucking slice of a sword and get them the fuck out of there. Zaslav was so sick of DC Comics, he shut their offices down. We knew what's happening right now is inevitably going to happen. And Ethan Van Sciver, because you know, Keith and I love Ethan Van Sciver. I know him personally. He'll never come on the show. It's what he's. I've talked to this guy for years. Man, I loved what you did with G.I. Joe. Oh man, it's really cool. It's awesome. Congratulations on your graphic novel getting that award. You know. And then I'll turn the conversation. Hey man, you want to come on our show? Silence. Because I have his personal email, you know, and he doesn't want to go on other people's shows. He doesn't want to. He wants to focus on his stuff. I get it. And I've heard people say bad things about him because of that. And I'm like, no, I get it. He's got a good thing and he's nurturing it. Why would you fucking hate somebody for doing that? That's ridiculous. Stephanie Beatty, good morning. It's good to see you. I'm sorry I'm so negative. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. I'm really not sorry. I don't give two hot flying fucks if people are bothered by me ranting. Keith's not here to stop me, so I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna watch that fucking crap. That's Star Trek. It's not Star Trek. It's insulting to Star Trek. And this is what they don't understand. Look, when you do parody, listen to these words. When you do parody, you can't make it official because it's parody. This is the problem people are having with Harley Quinn animated show and Peacemaker. They want that to be official. And it's official DC, but it's parody. So it's not canon. It can't be canon. It can be canon in its own universe, but it cannot be canon with everything else. Because that's not Peacemaker.
No.
If you know the comics, and I thought their comics were shitty, but I know a lot of people 24/7 fucking loves Peacemaker comic books. Jesus Christ. Mr. Slave. Where the fuck is Keith? We're 37 minutes into the show. He's not here yet. I thought he was going to be here. He told you he was going to be here.
Yeah, he sent me a message.
Come on, Keith, save me from myself. Where the fuck are you?
Yeah, like at 10:01. So I figured 20 minutes after that he'd be here. Now, in his defense, there may have been something to do with the
I know
stuff.
It's got something to do with that. I'm just going to ask him if. I do. I really need someone like Keith to fucking save me from myself today, because he'll find a way to fucking paint a brighter picture and cheer me up. Because when I go negative, it's a seething negative.
Yeah, well,
because it takes a lot to fucking provoke me. It really does. To push me to the point where I'm angry. Good morning, Adega Outlaw. How are you? Chris from Moonlight Productions. My buddy Chris is here. Good morning. You're right about it being insulting to Star Trek. That's Kurtzman just shitting on Star Trek fans. Him and his fucking cronies over there. Gonzalez rumored to play Elektra in the upcoming Daredevil series. I don't know who that is. Elsa Gonzalez. I hope she's good. Bill Barkley is here. Good morning, Bill. He knows that you're in a bad mood and is afraid to come on. No, that's not Keith. Keith really does help make me feel better sometimes with some of the things he says, because he does find positive ways to spin things. And I'll go, oh, that's nice. Oh, I'm calming. The anger's leaving me.
I've just got negative stuff, so.
Yeah. I'm fucking miffed at that story he shared with me this morning. Like, Keith, why would you share that story with me and not show up to help fucking ground me? Destiny's Captain, hey, do you think what? It looks like you're about to ask a good question. Monkey Jeebus says Taika would stopped making Thor money, so they're going to go in another direction. Of course. And again, Stone Pipe, it's not so much a threat. He's telling Alex Kurtzman, I know you've lost money. Don't fuck with me. I will fucking ruin you. And that's what an audit would do. And the other thing that I love about these audits is, and a lot of people don't know this, and I keep saying, what you have to understand is if you are found to be, managing in malfeasance, and it costs a company money, a lot of money, and you continue doing the same practices, you can actually be left owing that money. You got to pay it all back.
Or have criminal charges.
Including your wages. If you are proved to be guilty of malfeasance, then this would, what is that called when it's small? It's not really small claims because this is huge money, but this is going to be involving lawsuits. But it can be, if proven in court, it could be proven to also be a crime. Embezzlement. Thank you, Lauren. She's on it. That Alex Kurtzman and J.J. Abrams could be found guilty of embezzlement and be given prison terms. You think Bernie Madoff hurt people? J.J. Abrams and Alex Kurtzman are fucking locusts to the studio system, and agreed they let it happen. The studio's like, yes, come in. Oh, shower us with your fucking insane, stupid jizz. And then after the party, they're like, oh, that's kind of gross and sticky. And then they're not happy about it. Well, fuck, you invited this. But there are people that didn't invite it. And those people are called the investors. They had no direct involvement with this. So every single person in this situation could be found through an audit culpable, not just financially, but legally. If it's proven that malfeasance caused financial damage, that money was earned by these people while doing this, it could be turned to meaning. And this is why I want to get a lawyer on this show. So he'll explain to you in more legal terms what I'm talking about. These people could get fucking found guilty of fucking embezzling money. I wondered why was a shoe titled today, because we know Gerry doesn't care for She-Hulk. I'm not going to fucking watch that show. Fuck that show. The minute I saw the trailer and saw what they were doing, when everybody showed that clip of her man-shaming him, you think you've got it bad. And I love that video that shows every fucking tragic moment of the Hulk. People who have died that he loved. And what he sacrificed to try to save people. And she's fucking shaming him at that table in that scene. It's like they're not even self-aware at Marvel anymore. When you see shit like that. And he's just sitting there blank stare. And she's female splaining everything. You talk about mansplaining. You know what mansplaining is? Actual explaining shit. What female splaining is guilt. It's all about guilt. Shame and guilt. That doesn't really exist. It only exists in the mind of the person doing it. And that's why you get that blank look. I love that they slowed it down when he's sitting there. And then he just sort of gets that look like he's in a daze. And I'm like, oh my God, it's actually in there. You can actually see it. If you slow it down, you can see he's sort of like, no, he's just nodding like he's not even there anymore. He just knows the verbal cues when to nod. He's tuned out. Don't Call Me Wave is here. Good morning. Loki is here. Good morning, Loki. The problem is these studios are future-proofing their products. They've been convinced if they don't, they will be canceled down the road. No, absolutely. It's exactly what they've been doing, Loki. Absolutely what they've been doing. And they're painting themselves into a corner, having done this. The BBC, and it's fucking lashing out, firing Toby Stephen as Doctor Who, and forcing them to hire members of the LGBTQ. I fucking forget what the look. I recognize the gay community. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's
the gay community. I recognize them. I fucking support the gay community. I have oh God, no, I have more than that. I have close to about half a dozen members of my immediate family who are in the community. I have close fucking beloved friends that are in the community. And they all feel the same way as I do. That this is ham-fisted. This is all ham-fisted behavior, and it does nothing to create progress and strengthen unity. It creates nothing more than chaos for everybody involved. Zaslav's going to pull J.J. Abrams' mask off, and he's going to be darn. You, David Zaslav, I would have got away with it too. Yeah, it's fucking. Oh. Well, there is a community though, Tickletron. There is. And the problem is, just like every political party, because it is a political party. I've kind of teased them for years. It's like I dislike politics that is based off of who and how you fuck. I just think it's weird to vote that way.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, I said, members of the straight community, I'm like telling them, hey man, don't get too excited about some of this shit. There are laws on the books that could send you to prison for getting that blowjob. Yeah, that's considered sodomy. All of it falls under sodomy when you're talking legal sodomy. Yeah. If it's not missionary position, it's sodomy. I'm not fucking lying. I'm not kidding. So, it's about personal freedom. The freedom to do things. But I do think it's weird to base your whole political view off of your sexual identity. I think you should base it off of what's best for the economy and best for protecting everyone's liberty and freedoms. Because there is no freedom without liberty. And liberty is the single most important thing. And that's the thing that's getting stepped on all the time. I mean, it gets stepped on every time you see groups of people fighting for new laws, you empower the government. With every new law, you empower the government and take more rights away from individuals. Every law. I'm not a libertarian. I'm a constitutionalist. So, let's see. So I just tuned in. Now here I can go to jail for getting blown. That's right, Danny. That's right. You're fucking late, man. It's too late. I've done all the damage. Where were you to save me from myself? You fucking did this today. You set me up with that fucking link you sent me. And all of a sudden, I went from grumpy to fucking angry. I was raging.
Which article? Which article?
You know the one, Ryan Johnson article.
Oh, yeah. First of all, just let me say in my own defense.
You don't have to defend yourself. What I need you to do is de-escalate the situation with.
Yeah. Okay. Let me talk to you and the audience this way.
Okay.
What I have learned from Valiant Renegade and the guys at Midnight's Edge is that the reason why Ryan Johnson had to come out with that particular statement in that entire article is the fact that it's the exact opposite of what you've been hearing. I don't think he's really heard from anybody, and I really don't. I really
lie.
Yeah, it's what J.J. Abrams does about all the Star Trek stuff. Every time you
see a release, every time. In fact, they didn't even bother changing the wording on their
Mhm.
second release. It was exactly worded as the previous one. Exactly. It's a
In fa-
fishing expedition and an attempt to find new investors.
Now,
They have no money.
I will say this: the whole thing about the director for Fantastic Four, the guy whose name keeps popping up, supposedly he had been in deep talks and had probably even agreed to direct a Star Trek 4. But we don't even know what story he agreed to. And I'm personally thinking that the reason why now he's looking at directing Fantastic Four is that JJ doesn't know what he's doing with Star Trek 4. I mean, it's just a word now. It's word salad every time anything comes out about Star Trek 4. The word.
This falls under the category of what I've said.
Yeah.
The journalists that are covering this have no integrity. They know this isn't true.
Well, I mean, that's what we got with Clownfish doing that whole story about how a lot of these so-called geek sites and stuff that have popped up over the last 10 years are now pretty much owned by a lot of the same people. So it's really maybe a handful of people with various opinions that make it seem like there's 20, 30 different sites that are doing things. And so really, you got a lot of people that's got a lot of time on their hands. That whole Warner Brothers thing, oh, we regret doing the Snyder Cut. That's every single mofo that got fired. Every single one of them.
Read this. Somebody read this aloud. I'm not going to read it.
Okay, bingo. I'm Alphabet Spicy and Neuro Spicy. I'm the token divergent for the channel.
She's so funny.
La Adelita.
Yeah, and I saw something Mr. Tickletrick said something too. He said, I lost it. You guys are talking too fast. Talking too fucking fast. I'm losing comments. But Clownfish, look, if you don't watch Clownfish, you need to start watching it. I don't give them enough credit. I really don't. We never talk about them. And they're really a force of good out there. They show more journalistic integrity with what they do and how they cover things. The other one is that Disney one that goes out there and investigates stuff that Disney's doing. They are more journalistically driven to do the right thing in telling stories and really breaking stories than anybody in the entertainment industry.
And they do it in a very relaxed way. I mean, been there, done that type of fashion of reporting. And when they do have that, when they do connect to things that are something that we've never heard before, a breaking story or whatever, they may sound like it's like a nothing thing for them. They may sound a little too relaxed, but it turns out that both of them have experience. And so they've done it enough, kind of like Mikey Sutton. Mikey Sutton has journalistic experience out his ass. Yeah. And those who really like to speak
for Cinefantastique.
Yes.
I have read his articles when he worked.
Yes. Yes. And those who demean or discount what he does, you do so at your own peril. And
you just make yourself look stupid.
Big time.
Now I want to point out some stuff in the chat because, like, Wolverine, good morning, man. Lada Lita, we love you too. You're fucking awesome.
You're the best.
And you are. I don't know. You are someone I want to get on the show more often. And I always secretly worry, and I don't worry, but I do worry. It's a worry that I can live with of whether people dig me or not, or think that I'm kind of an asshole. And I think you think I'm an asshole, but you still like me for some reason. I appreciate that. Ryan Johnson has been saying the same crap for years. Exactly, Wolverine. He has been. He pipes up every once in a while, and this has a lot to do with trying to remain relevant. when you
part
see,
of it.
When you see that female Hollywood internet YouTube personality with the face that's all crooked, well,
Talking about Grace Randolph.
Oh, dude!
I'm going out of my way not to say her fucking name because I don't want to.
Sorry.
She whose name shall not be spoken.
Sorry, it's my bad.
I give you great description to where you know who I'm talking about. When she makes some sort of proclamation, it's comedy. It's pure fucking comedy.
Yeah.
Because you automatically know she's full of shit and she's just either making it up or she's bought somebody's bullshit story. She is as gullible as you fucking get. That's why her face is tilted to one side, because she's been hooked one too many times. And her face
Or when she's not when she's not stealing stories from Mikey Sutton or Clownfish.
Oh
TV.
yeah, and then
like
dismisses him.
Yeah,
and
Sil Abdul, because Sil's up there too now. I just think that with Rian Johnson, there's one more reason why I think he also decided to do this. And that is that I think he realizes that Kathleen may not have his best interest at heart when it comes to fulfilling her promise or whatever agreement she had.
I really don't think she can do much of anything. Go back to Adelita. You are in the group, aren't you? I thought I added you to our morning crew. So if there is an invitation to join the show, that's for every single person in that group. That is an open invitation every day. So you're welcome to jump on, because this whole show got started to get me to get over my nervousness. And, because I was getting pressured by, in a good way, by, the bosses. And the bosses had pushed me. And I said, okay, then I'm going to do this morning show. And they're like, well, we don't know the need. We don't see a need for that. You don't, but I do. I need to do a morning show so I can not worry about a huge crowd. But look at us, we're in the 30s now.
Yeah.
And and even though I use that fucking thumbnail of her twerking, I don't really even want to fucking talk about it, because it's just another fucking symptom of the problem that's inflicted fucking Hollywood. Hollywood has always been a little woke. Always.
Yeah, but
Charlie Chaplin, if you didn't know this, he was a communist. He was absolutely, but he was brilliant. I fucking love Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
But he was a fucking outspoken communist. And he pissed like Hearst off like crazy, because Hearst was absolutely not, I don't think he's conservative at all. I think he's just a capitalist. And capitalists hate communism.
Yep.
Communism and capitalism are absolutely diametrically opposed. And what you see are people who are in politics that are Democrats and Republican alike, that are nothing more than political animals that are actually capitalists behind the scenes. Pelosi, she's fucking rich. Are you fucking kidding me? Her talking about anything is comedy gold. When she criticizes the rich, she is in the 1%. Every single major star in Hollywood, oh, we need to take care of what the 1%. They are the 1%. So if you think they're being legitimate and real, you're kidding yourself. Oh God, I'm doing it again. I'm getting angry.
Here, let me help diffuse and redirect some of this stuff. I believe that the upcoming The Acolyte has Rian Johnson just a little bit worried, because the woman who came up with that train wreck is someone who, first of all, compared to Rian Johnson's kind of new to being with Kathy. But Kathy has made it one of her points to basically get this entire project up and running. And meanwhile, Rian Johnson's got nothing but his little Clue type movies that he does now, that he's making for Netflix. That a lot more people seem to be talking, I think, about what Zack Snyder's doing with Netflix than really about talking about Rian Johnson and his Netflix shows.
Rian Johnson you're going to see, and we've talked about this previously, that if Rian Johnson is getting put in the news, there's a reason for it. It has nothing to do with Star Wars.
Yeah, he's a little bitch. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
It has something to do with promoting something else.
Oh, that's the fact that he's a little bitch.
Yeah, well, also he's got stuff coming out.
Yeah, well,
working on stuff. And so when
you sell your backside for money,
well, he's trying to remain relevant, and the relevancy has nothing to do with Star Wars. He's never going to work on anything in Star Wars again. It will cause an open revolt that should have already happened. We should have absolutely had a revolt to where they were making no money on Star Wars. They shouldn't have got a goddamn dime. I mean, we put a good stranglehold on him and hurt him over what Rian Johnson said. And that is where the rebellion began against Lucasfilm. Was Rian Johnson opening his mouth, talking shit. And look, Mike Zero's full of shit. He absolutely is. We Got This Covered is more legitimate as an entertainment news source than Mike Zero. Mike Zero's just entertaining. He seems like a really sweet guy, but I think he's borderline fucking nuts out of his fucking gourd with some of the shit he talks about.
Yeah.
And people watch this stuff. Some of them believe it. Some of them know it's bullshit. It's like, this guy's just making shit up. But when Rian Johnson went after him, what he didn't understand was he was going after the fan community. What he said to Mike Zero was an attack on all of us. Because all Mike Zero is, when it comes down to it, is an idiot fan. He's a fanboy. And he attacked a fanboy.
And plus on top of that, he's not one of the quote unquote mean fanboys. Mike Zero's whole
really
spiel.
Nice. He's so fucking nice.
He's a nice guy that has a lot of weird stuff that comes out of his mouth. He's not there to talk stuff about anybody else except his favorite thing, which is Star Wars. You can tell that. He's that kid. You know, that one kid that has that one thing that they are so excited about. And it's pretty much almost anything that he talks about is just Star Wars. And that's, you know, Rian Johnson's the bully that goes after the kid with, you know, in your class that isn't all there. That's who he is.
Gerry, we have a super chat.
Yeah, man. Mr. Tickle Trunk for $5 Canadian says jokes are fine and never mistake your frustration with being an a-hole. I don't, Mr. Tickle Trunk. I am an a-hole. I'm a dick. It's really, I'm very dickish. We INFJs get upset when people don't live up to expectations we put on ourselves. Well, the fact is when I get angry, there's provocation. I don't get angry very easily. As an INFJ, I don't, you know, Anima knows, we talk privately about it. She'll think I'm pissed or upset. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm really not. What I get pissed at most of the time is myself. I get angry at myself for being stupid and believing something. And that's true. And that's true about INFJs. We have a tendency of judging ourselves before judging other people. And that's why we're so often slow to anger. But when we do, it's a mighty fucking rage. You know, and what kind of rage is it? Let me explain to you in video form again.
Do you know what nemesis means? A righteous infliction of retribution manifested by an appropriate agent. Personified in this case by a horrible cunt. Me.
I'm that cunt. Tom and Andre. Also, I'm not going to call them the C word, but in loving reference, they're cunts too. Doomcock in his own way is one of those cunts. Gerry,
unless needlessly tired.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, give me a second. Like, oh, I get it. And I use it in really the English way because that's where I learned the word, was living over there. And like it's like common parlance in England. You fucking can't, you know. Wow, who is this fine woman who just joined the panel? I don't know, Danny. If you're on the show, you could have said something.
Exactly.
Rather than coming off pretentious cunt like in the chat.
It's Danny 2.0.
It's Danny 2.0. I don't know. Why aren't you on here, Danny? What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, Dan.
Anyway.
Come on, man.
There she is.
I'm coming.
Hey!
Ah, there we go. There we go. This is getting
company because Gary's ignoring her.
well.
Thank you.
I mean, here's the thing.
It's not ignoring. It's just I'm very angry, and it's hard for me
this
to
morning. It's
team
terrible.
up. No, I wasn't grumpy. No, seriously, Keith fucking triggered me this morning.
Yeah, it's my fault.
He sent me that fucking article, and all of a sudden, it's like my eyes turn yellow and my skin turns green, and I start raging and ripping. No, that's a fantasy I have. Where I fucking went into a rage over it, and it just fucking makes me angry. When nothing makes me angrier than piss poor journalistic integrity. Because I worked as a journalist for 25 fucking years. And even my editor, fucking Paul Young, man, I love that guy. Really sweet man, talk to me like this. Tried to convince me all the time to, don't you think that maybe you should go back and rethink the way you said it? I went, no, that's what I'm saying. That's the truth. That is my personal truth right there. And he go, okay, and he published it, and like people would laugh and go, dude, you fucking wrecked that movie. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Well, Gerry, don't you think that's technically what Neil Simon did with Murder by Death? Murder by Death is nothing more than one gigantic rant, is really what it is. And when you get to the very end of the movie with that big speech at the end, that's pointed at basically the entertainment world and the studios, but also talking about their use of mysteries. But also, you could make it just about anything: Western, science fiction, fantasy, whatever. But it's that speech is relevant today, you know. And it's unfortunate that you've now had a whole generation of people that seem to think, "Oh, it's that movie that's kind of like Clue."
And like, no, Clue is
like a pale entertainment.
Stolen. Yeah, it's stolen from it.
It's a pale imitation.
But no, it's look, everything's fucking broken right now. It really is. And it's really frustrating because I expect Hollywood to be left leaning. I do. I don't have a problem with it. You know, because I actually think that despite what a lot of conservatives think, I think liberal thought is important because I think it helps keep us tempered because we can forget sometimes about the emotional stuff because liberalism is about the feeling and caring for people. And that's where it should be. But the problem is they've lost that. And
loving feeling.
Now they're doing this very destructive thing right now. And this is members of your party that's doing this. And I don't understand it because, you know, and I said it to you the other day. I said, you guys need to clean house. There's some foxes in the hen house. You need to get them out. With us, conservatives, because I'm not a Republican. I'll never be a Republican.
Gee, that was loud.
Because I don't agree with the Republican Party on a lot of things. I'm very much old school Democrat. If you look at my political views and compare it to guys like John F. Kennedy and Hubert Humphrey, I'm straight in line with those fucking guys. But now I'm called conservative. It's ridiculous.
Danny, why aren't you on here?
It's like, you don't get the only way for me to be more pro-gay is to actually go gay. I'm that supportive of the gay community. My son was like, I'm not going to be happy until men can marry men and women can marry men. And I said, I agree with you because I think as a person who's been married that everyone should be equally miserable. I'm not going to be happy until we have gay divorce court. on TV. You think the Force is entertaining? Wait till you see two grown fucking men going at it in court.
I would watch the hell out of that.
I'm gonna tell you what he did.
What, you mean being mad at each other, not going at it?
Oh no, not.
Yeah.
Both? Both?
No.
No, we need this for public TV. I'm serious. Gay divorce court. Why don't we have it yet? I've given up caring about flying cars.
What?
How is it
What?
in this 21st century we don't have gay divorce court as a major TV show?
Hold on. You gave up on flying cars?
Fire the View. Start the show. Gay divorce court.
Flying cars.
And the only person not
You just
gay
know Keith.
is the audience. Everybody, the bailiff, the judge, everybody on that show needs to be gay. It'll be funny as fuck. It'll be amazing.
I can't believe
You broke Keith.
That's like giving up on sex.
you gave up on flying cars. Bro, what are you doing, bro?
Look, man, I told people years ago.
We need an intervention.
Man, I'm telling you, we will never have flying cars.
No!
Go. Why?
No.
Do you understand
No.
how dangerous the streets in the air would be?
No.
You've got stupid people in cars now. Then you want to license them for the air? There will be so many fucking deaths that'll never happen. The only people that will ever have flying cars are law enforcement.
No.
That's it.
No, I want a car. I want my car. Like, promise me a car. I want my car.
There's only two things keeping me going in life. One of them is getting a flying car in the future, and the other one's becoming a brain in a box.
You're fucked. You're fucked. Because you're not going to get either of those.
God. No.
Smaller, man. Gay divorce court. That's where we need to go.
No.
That's the future of television right there, my friend.
No.
Show's atmosphere. I can respect OG Dims. It's new school Rees. No, because they're not Democrats. They're not. This is the problem we have in society, and it's really. And my gay friends all agree. It's like they make the gay community. They're losing footing. Their footing. I mean, the gay community has made bounds over the last 30 years, and then you get these fucking angry people, and they start pushing them backward again, making people hate them for the wrong fucking reason.
Yeah.
My son used to be, because my son is gay. My son, he knows this. I make fun of him. I'm like, my son's not just gay; he's gay as fuck. And and he knows I said this. I said, I'm so proud of you that you're comfortable with yourself. I'm not proud of you because you know how to suck cock. I'm proud of you because you stood your ground with who you are. And sometimes who you are freaks me out. Because it really freaks me out with some of the shit he does. Because nobody cross-dresses like my son. And I'm like, I don't want my son looking hot. Stop it. But he knows. We joke. We always joke. And he likes the way I use the word gay. And because he does it too. He does it too. He goes, yeah, it's pretty gay. And I'm like, I know, right? That's where we're so good with each other when we talk, because he gets my humor. And
when are we gonna have him back on the show?
Republican. He was. I keep asking him, man. He's so busy. Him and John are doing their thing. I think he's really moving towards being a full-fledged entrepreneur. And so I just get lucky when he responds to me now. I'm just happy to hear from him because I love him so much. But he went in this direction, and I said, I don't know why you're doing this, but I support you. If this is what you want to do, is gay fiction. He likes to write gay fiction, and not slash fiction, but just gay fiction.
Yes.
He creates his own characters. He doesn't slash is gay fiction, fan fiction.
Yeah.
And I hate it. And that's why I made the joke today, slash and burn. This whole thing they're doing at DC, where it's like They're like Oprah Winfrey, you know, and serious, you know, you get a car, and he goes, you're gay now. And it's like, stop doing that. You're only doing that because they're beloved characters, and you want, instead of being constructive, you're being destructive. And I don't understand it. What, you know, and this is what I say, the difference between the Reed community and a true liberal, because liberals are not destructive people. They're constructive and they're necessary. These people are not, because they're intentionally doing damage, and they're doing it to their own community that they claim to be a part of. They're hurting the gay community.
Like they're hurting the MCU.
Yeah.
They're
doing damage to everybody.
Your Batman to be gay. We don't want Superman to be gay. I kind of want Wonder Woman to be bi. I'm just saying. But
well, she's not.
Yeah. But, you know, we want the characters that were made for us. We don't want your characters. We want our own characters from the 80s, from whenever. You know, that's what we want. And we want those characters to be more in the spotlight. Give our characters time. Don't go creating these oh, my power is to use TikTok. We don't fucking want that.
Yeah, wasn't that the
own
stupidest thing
OG
you ever heard?
characters.
Daniel Kibblesmith. That's his name. That's the one who. That's him. That's the one that did it.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
by the
we
way,
don't
He got his powers from internet gas.
Laudalita, would you do me a favor? Would you finish reading Joe's thing, and then I got to do a thank you video? Would you read that for me?
Long live the days of civil discourse. This tribalism. Shiza sucks. Hail. What is it? AI? I can't read that.
All.
Right. All. Hail all.
Yeah, hell all. And with that, when you get this video,
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
and thank you for your $5 super chat, man, Joe. Thanks for showing up this show. Fantastic. And anyway, Laudalita, please continue.
Oh, I like this comment from Bill Barkley. The new Doctor Who is gay. John Barrowman, Captain Jack Harkness is gay. I liked Captain Jack Harkness.
Everybody did.
He was the gay guy. You don't need a gay Doctor Who. You don't need a gay doctor. We have Captain Jack.
And you know, when he got his own show, did you watch his show?
Yeah.
It was fucking great.
Exactly. He became
I fucking
a version
loved
of the
that
Doctor.
show.
Yeah.
I'm so pissed we didn't get more movies.
Exactly.
Fans watched it.
Yeah.
They got numbers.
Even though
why didn't we get more?
I have to admit, they had a miniseries that was just that.
All right, fuck you.
That concluding miniseries from them was scary as F. Whew.
I am not ignoring you, Tom. I am not ignoring you. You're my fucking friend. I'm going to send you an invite during the show. And because when I get like this, it's hard for me to keep up with the chat. It really is.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. So where are you, Tom? There you are. Tom is one of the dearest fucking people in my life.
I think ultimately, what is on the horizon to happen is that we're steering right into the future of what's about to happen with DC Comics. I mean, there's a lot of people that are about to be unemployed. So there are about to be a lot of changes for DC Comics. We're watching Marvel do the same thing, but way slower. I mean, way slower. This is going to be torturous to watch them struggle to get back to where they were. And it's going to take a while because I don't think Kevin Feige is going to want to immediately leave, but I think he will reach that decision himself. And Victoria, I think, will get fired long before she assumes any real control. I really do believe that. She's going to take this one step too far. And as far as I'm concerned, well, the MCU as it stands now, based on where it started, is pretty much over. I mean, Phase 5, unless Phase 5 has something other than another Spider-Man movie to save it, it's done. it's done.
Yeah.
You know.
But by the way, I need to respond to Monkey Jeebus here. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Monkey Jeebus says Gary's son is gay. Who would have thought that would happen? Look, I'm telling you something. I am so gay, I made a gay child. That's how gay I am. Someone's trying to knock on the door behind you there, Keith.
No, that's them working.
I know. That's why I'm giggling when I said it. I call
that's me trying to get out of the dungeon. Gerry.
Well, man, slash fiction has existed since really forever. The first I heard of was Star Trek with Kirk and Spock. Your house is haunted by white people.
Yep. Yep. They want to come on in and grab whatever I got going on. So
I want to.
That did not come out right.
I just want to get a clip of you one day saying, "Shut up, cracker." It's like I got so angry at Fat Steven Seagal when he said he was going to clip you saying "come at you hard" when you said that live on a show, and I'm like, my whole face just lit up when he said, "I'm like." Steven commented on it. He says, "I'm going to clip that," and then he didn't clip it, and I forgot what episode that was of you saying that, so I'll never find it. Hi, Danny.
Oh my God! I tell him to get on, and he gets on. Since when do you listen to me?
That's your power.
Well, you know.
My powers.
What? Okay, I gotta go.
Yo, fuck you, Danny, you cocksucker. All right, bye.
Technology.
Good to see you, Dan.
No worry, it's good seeing you, Danny. I love you, man.
Keith?
Yeah.
Do you think that DC is going to license out DC Comics?
Oh, heck yes.
So like somebody like McFarlane or something?
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom.
It's Mr. Tom Connors. Yes. Yes.
Hi, Tom.
I'm up way too early.
Dude.
Hi, Tom.
You work too hard. I mean, you are the person that pretty much sets the pace as far as, just working hard and just getting it done.
There are actually people who work harder than me, but no, I've been up for way too long because my advice to anybody who wants to have children, don't. That's all I'm going to say this morning.
Dude, that came too late for me, man. That came way too late for me.
Yeah, I apologize. I wish I had that
knowledge.
Yeah,
where were you 40 years ago? My kid's going to be 40 this next year, man.
They start out cute. Adorable for about 2 years, and then the rest is downhill.
They're cute, but they're pooping machines.
There's that. There's warning. See, there's red flags from the start. We just ignore them because they're adorable, and then
Well, those birth certificates are really receipts. You can take them back anytime.
Well, just remember this: all your children really.
Sure, you tell me now after mine's expired, because my kid's an adult now.
Same here.
That's the thing. They're even worse to deal with as an adult. I'm sitting here thinking, God, was I this bad when I was in my 20s?
Well, just remember, children are nothing more than eating, shitting, disease-carrying monkeys. That's all they are.
Well, monkey packs had to start somewhere.
Where do you think you get sick, Keith? When you get sick? When you were raising your kids?
I'm trying to be nice because
these
are the same people that are going to be deciding which home I'm going to end up in.
Yeah. They're eating, shitting, disease-carrying.
I love my kids so much. I want a wall-sized TV and the nurses with the really, really short skirts. That's what I want.
Yeah. I would like that too.
Don't we all?
I know, right?
I'll be in the retirement home playing video games and running D&D for the others.
I was going to say, are you kidding? I'm not going to let my kid decide shit. I'm making sure I know what home I'm winding up.
Well,
I used to something that I've worked in nursing facilities as a nurse. I have worked in developmentally handicapped facilities with clients instead of patients. And if I have a choice, I will fake being mentally handicapped to live in a group home than a nursing home.
Really?
Yes, it's so fucking nice. And It's such a pleasant atmosphere. Nursing homes become so clinical, and there's like every nursing home has the same fucking smell, and you're like, is that cleaning fluids or poop? Do I smell a little pee? It'll drive you crazy trying to figure out what that smell is in a nursing home.
Well, then, you know what? There's a couple of us already. Let's just go ahead and give up on the rest of it and just go into a home together.
I want Anima to take care of me. When
I know, right? Well, like, we need to be smart about this. All we need is like a good half a dozen or so of us, and we can just start our own facility.
Yeah.
Hire
And
a
you know
bunch
what?
of nurses that Keith wants.
Well, yeah, Keith wants. But Tom, we will pronounce it facility.
Sure.
We'll call it a nursing facility with a TH instead of a C.
Oh, you know what? I really don't require that much. I mean, I've told my kids, for years that as long as you got me a wall-sized TV and the nurses with the extra small skirts, I think I'd be good. I think I'd be good.
I think all of us would be. And again, I want to force someone like Anima to take care of me when I'm old. I think it'd be nice.
Shut up, Gerry.
For you.
And by the way, somebody brought up cross-dressing, and we brought up Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was into B&D back before they even knew B&D.
Yeah. That's how she lost her powers.
Bondage and discipline in fucking Wonder Woman. That dude was kinky as fuck.
He got away with it.
He was also the inventor
Now
of the
for a
lie
while.
detector. But yeah, he's fucking. If you know about his private life, they made a movie about it. You guys ever see that movie about him?
Dr. Marston and the
Wonder
Woman. Something like that. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Isn't it kind of mental where, he decided to have technically 2 wives? Isn't that kind of mental? I mean,
yeah.
I have a hard enough time with one. I mean,
Freud's theories were all based off of his own insanity. That's why I always found it so interesting about him. Is like every single thing he talked about, when you look at his private life, that was in his fucking life. And that's why Carl Jung's theories work better, even to this day, than Freud's theories. Freud's theories all end at the age of puberty, age of 13. When puberty kicks in, all of his theories just fall apart. They're like, well, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, But if you want to see me cross-dressing, here you go. That's me in my girlfriend's dress on in a stage play where I had to be a cross-dresser.
Who actually requested this?
It was brought up in the chat. Fuck you, Tom.
You make a very pretty woman, Gerry.
No, I don't. My son does. I do not. I look like a man
Don't
wearing
into
a
the
dress.
flames, Adelita. Don't.
You know me. I just okay, you want a bigger fire? Psh.
Let's go.
Exactly.
there you go. There you go.
Fire's not
Like I
big enough.
said,
It'll always
see,
be bigger.
you still see the scars from where they removed my horns. There we go.
Satan. Whatever they say, back off, or the priests say, Christ compels you. Christ compels
Well, look, I got my own theme song. It's to the Batman 66 theme. But instead of Batman, it's Black Man.
No, black man, you've been canceled. So, all right, man. I feel so much better than I did at the beginning of the show, man. I was so fucking angry. Yeah,
Good.
release the Kraken. David Zaslav.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
David Zaslav is the Kraken. And
David Zaslav can do whatever he wants.
I love the cancel culture, like trying to cancel him. I'm like, you don't understand. AT&T not only wanted him, they needed him to do this. And no, you can't get him fired.
Well, that whole story.
He's a homophobe. No, he's not. He has a lot of gay friends. He is absolutely a big he's a Democrat. He's a big supporter of the gay community. What he is not a big supporter of is paying for shit and not getting money back for it. And when you see that fucking young trans actress come out and say, please, Mrs. Zaslav, release Batgirl. It's like, now you have no trouble asking that, but you don't seem capable of going and relenting and going, you know what, we really did cost you money. Our bad. It was wrong of us to use your money unwisely. They'll do the other, but they won't do the important one that actually matters. Because it's all about what they want, not what the person that put the money into it wants. They don't care what they want. So they're always doing shit like that. And those people in the communities, and they infiltrate every single liberal group. They infiltrate them. And that includes the alphabet community and the fucking Democratic Party. And people, and this is my problem with my conservative friends who try to paint the entire Democratic Party, liberal, as being like that. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're not. You know, don't do that. It's not right. It's not fair. Don't do that. You know, it's just like the religious right with conservatives. They fucking drive me crazy. It's like, oh my God, no, I don't. It's like, I had a buddy, I'm not going to say his name, big name in the comic community. Big name, like Batman, shit like that. And I'm not going to say who he is, but he said to me in a private conversation once, he says, well, we are a Christian country. And I said, which Christian? There's a lot of different Christians, Coptic, Catholic. There's different forms of Catholicism too. They're Baptists, they're Pentecostals, they're Presbyterians. You know, you've got all these ones. Which Christian? Because if you try to throw your fucking crazy Pentecostal Baptist shit on me as a Catholic, I'm going to fucking have a fit. So which Christian? He couldn't answer me. He got mad at me. And I'm like, well, there you go. So it may have been built on Christian ideals, but it is not a Christian nation. This is a free nation that allows you to have religion or not and not be beat over the head over it.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this country.
But, you know, I think this next year to 2 years is definitely going to be transformative one way or another.
You said trans.
And so ultimately, either Disney is going to get on board and start making some changes quicker, or they're definitely going to get left behind. I mean,
Bob Chapek's, Disney's in so much fucking trouble right now. And people that don't know, Tom knows this too, you know, they're in financial trouble.
Yeah, they owe money for the Hulu thing.
Of dollars in debt. And I would almost say with Disney, they're probably closer to $1 trillion in debt.
Oh, don't say that.
And because their spending has been just really out there. And at one point they were making money hand over fist.
They were.
But ever since about between 2014 and 2016, a lot of bad ideas started coming up. And I blame Kevin Feige for it too. It's not just Victoria Alonso. She's only been there since 18? He was making bad decisions before her.
It's that, but it's also Pixar. What happened with Pixar? When you get rid of all of the talented people, and then you get Lightyear.
Well, the one thing you got to remember about those.
Sorry, Tom.
No, it's all right. Well, I mean, they are having some financial issues, but never count them out, because as long as the parks are functioning and ESPN is rolling, they're fine. Those are their two big money, points. Because the studio itself, Disney movies, doesn't make nearly as much as you would think. The toys and all that stuff is a big part of it too. But no, ESPN alone brings in $7 or $8 billion a year.
Fox Sports is so much better than anything ESPN gives.
They just have all the big packages, and you got to remember it's one of the oldest cable pack channels out there, and I mean they probably are able to demand high commercial rates, so that's where they're able to rake in like $7 billion a year just for ESPN alone.
Disney makes a ton of money on their licensing stuff too, licensing out their characters, right?
Well, and they could be making a lot more money between merchandising and licensing if the comics wing was doing better. because that's where a lot of money is made through Marvel and DC, because DC and Marvel both did not really turn a profit on comics, not since like 72. Their money was made off of merchandising and licensing. And I, that was one of the first things I learned working in the comic industry. Because when I went to work for IDW, I was educated on how things work. And I'm like, that's fascinating. I was unaware that DC, because you never look at that the comics wing doesn't really make much money. They make money through merchandising and licensing, and that is what we're seeing with DC. And Tom, what do you think is going on? Because did you watch Ethan Van Sciver's video?
No, I haven't seen Ethan's video. Why? What's he saying?
Well, he was reading that article, and he read into the article what was going on, because everybody's been talking. When he brought this up, that Kirkman and I just forgot his name.
McFarlane,
thank you. Are the two guys that people are eyeing, but we saw a major move that McFarlane just got involved with. I think it was something to do with the Flash, and he says this could be the move we've been waiting for him to step in to run DC. And that was what Ethan was talking.
And I will say this: if he does, it's going to change DC's output. For one thing, whoever ends up coming in is not going to publish all those books. You're pretty much looking at, if McFarlane is the guy who is going to do this, what they publish like 30, 40 titles. He's not going to do that. I'll tell you that much right now. He is not going to do that. I'd say we'd be lucky to get 10 or more titles, and you know what he's going to go for. It'll be 2 or 3 Batman titles. It'll be 2 or 3 Superman titles, a Justice League title.
The foundation of DC.
It'll be all foundational, unless he can find more people to bring in to help shoulder some of the burden and produce certain books. But I will say this, though: you won't have to worry about what he ends up doing with the ones that he does do something with, because he'll go back to what he enjoyed about those characters, which is really what we enjoyed about those characters. A lot of the flavor, though, that has been built in with the DC IP, though, will be lost.
Right.
Any characters that, I'll tell you this much: if Todd McFarlane is the guy, I totally expect Todd McFarlane to change a lot of stuff back that has been changed over the last 25 years.
I think you might be. I mean, and this is just an observation. I have nothing to go on here. Just
yeah.
I wonder if we're not looking at this the wrong way. I think DC is just going to license out the characters to Image. I think that's what's going on. I think, and Todd is getting involved because he's still the president of Image, isn't he?
Yeah, despite some of the issues between him, he is still an executive.
And I'm sure he'll try to do like a synergistic deal where he gets the toy deal plus the comics, right? Because that's what he'll want.
He wants,
because Todd wants the toys more than he wants.
Yes.
Todd is not the kind of guy you bring in to run a fucking studio, not a movie studio. That's not what he's. No.
Yeah,
it's either going to be Dan Lin or somebody we haven't heard of yet, huh?
Well, what did you think of Kirkman?
Kirkman?
Yeah, the guy from The Walking Dead.
Kirkman's cool, but he's got problems. He's got some issues stemming from some of the same stuff that you heard about with Bob Kane creeping up.
Okay, all right.
I'm not saying he couldn't do it. It's not that he couldn't do it, but I personally think that within the next 5 to 7 years, you're going to basically have some people that are going to be, they will have had it with his BS, and they're going to go at him. And for right now, he's been very good at getting people to sign contracts to make it easier for him to continue
Kirkman has a lawsuit. Yes, it's true. But Tom, I want to go back to Tom.
Oh,
because Tom, you started to say a name of somebody else that nobody's talking about.
Well, I just don't think we've heard yet. I mean, it might just be very well be Dan Lin because he's the safe choice, right? But the problem with Dan Lin or Don, is it Don or Dan? I think it's Dan.
Dan.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was Dan. The thing with Dan is he's basically Hamada 2.0.
Oh,
that's the problem.
You really think so?
He doesn't really have anything under his belt that's original, right? His claim to fame is the Lego movies, and he produced It.
And the Batman Lego movie. Yeah, well, all the Lego movies. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, like his partner, like Roy Lee might have been a better choice. But then again...
well, what do you think? Well, because he's an Alan Horn suggestion.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I'm hearing some shit that Alan Horn is the one fucking all this shit up.
Oh,
well,
it's already fucked up. It can't get more fucked up.
Here's the thing I think we're facing right now. The thing is that you have people in certain positions that have become more conduits for what executives want to do. That's really Alex Kurtzman's power with CBS and why he still has a job after all this time. He takes suggestions, and rather than telling them no, he just says yes to pretty much anything they suggest. Okay? That seems to be, I think, the flavor that we're dealing with now in corporate Hollywood, is that you got to worry about the creative yes men, the creative cogs in the machinery that just say yes to whatever executives above them want to do. That explains Star Wars. That explains Star Trek. That explains Doctor Who. That explains anything that has been changed dramatically over the last 6 years, is all because you've gotten certain creative people in place that do more listening to the people above them than they have creative thoughts up here. That's what we're dealing with. If Dan Lin is one of those, that means he's just pretty much just part of a long line of what we got going on. This is the phase we're going through. So
what phase is it? Is phase 5? For all the shit we're going through, can we name our phases of the shit we've gone through? I mean, if Marvel can do it, why can't we, the nerds? Look, I'm going to wind us down here because Tom, thank you so much for hopping in, man. I love you.
Yeah, Tom.
Good to see you.
You're
Tom.
the best, dude.
I've been telling people, go back and watch Tuesday's Toxic Tuesday. I think that was one of the best fucking episodes.
Where the white women at?
Yeah, where the white women at? And I've done that joke. Seriously, Keith will tell you. I said, now, he'll put his hand up, and I said, now wipe your hand off and turn it around. And he turned around. I said, see, you're white. That's a digital filter he uses to make him look so cool and black.
You were going to get me in so much trouble.
No, I'm going to get in trouble. You're not going to get shit.
I hear about this. I hear about this from my mom, dude. She does occasionally watch.
What does she say?
What do you mean? Does Gerry have to be so? Does he have to use a lot of that language?
Tell you, Mom, I deeply appreciate her, but I can't stop. It's look.
It's too late for him.
I have the dick version of Tourette's, where I just say dick things all the time. It's just ridiculous. Hey, Dennis McCullough is here. I'm going to wind us down. I want to thank.
Did we manage to ungrump you?
I told you Keith would fucking unwind me. That's why I was getting so irritated. He was so late. I'm like, where the fuck is he? He'll stop me from doing this.
Yeah, that was dangerous, Keith, being so late.
You know what? I apologize. I apologize. We're trying to wind up a lot of this construction here, so
get those white guys out of your house.
It's not white guys. And that's all I'm gonna. I'm not gonna say anymore.
So, all right. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm going to go through the list real quick. Is this a complete list, Martin? Or have you forgotten Bill Barkley again?
No, the list is on the chat. But you cannot make Marshall and make my day.
Well, fuck. Marshall was the first one to comment, so he gets listed first. So, Marshall, Monkey Jeebus, thank you for coming. Come again. Lauren for sitting behind me and being in the chat. Mr. Tickle Trunk. D. Bud Martin, Socks Bulletins, La Adelita, who also came on the show. Thank you for being on here. I know we overtalk. I don't care, but I love seeing you on the show. It's so nice.
Thank you.
And even though she's off camera, everybody knows that I love seeing Anima on the show.
Oh, now you're nice.
Fuck you. Anyway.
Sun's getting real low, Gary.
Look, man, I cannot think of you and not think of this.
This town needs an enema.
I want to thank Jacob the Critic, who's a good friend. Keith, you heard I ran into him at Walmart.
Uh-huh. Can someone tell me a man who's dressed like a bat gets all of my press?
Yep.
I miss Jack.
Jack is he's semi-retired from acting, but one day I hope to see him come back because nobody does dialogue like that guy. I mean, he will deliver something that might have been a mundane line, but he turns it into fucking gold. You know, this is like one of my favorites. The full line. It got edited. It was truncated in the movie where he says, "Where does he get those toys? Don't just stand there, Bob. Go ask him." What a great fucking line. I can't believe they cut that. You only got, where does he get the toys? And not the follow-up, you know? And a lot of people don't understand the joke of him going, "You're my number one guy."
Why didn't somebody tell me he had one of those things?
Nicholas's Joker, man.
Gun.
Just fucking amazing shit.
Gonna need a million on, boys.
Yeah. But his Marvin Udall character is the one that sticks in my mind most. When somebody goes, "Hey, Gary, do your Jack Nicholson impression." And the first thing that pops into my mind is when the little Hispanic housekeeper says, you know, asks him to walk the dog. And he says, "Of course I will." You know, and she says, "And when you go into his apartment, you know, will you please open the curtains so he can look out into the world that God has made and know that it is a good place?" And he just looks at her and he goes, "Where did they teach people like you to talk like that? In some Panamanian sailor hump bar? Or is this the last shot at the boss's whiskey? Go sell crazy somewhere else. We're all stocked up here."
My other favorite line of his is from that same movie where he goes, "I think of a man. And I take
Oh my
away all
God.
logic and reason."
Indeed.
How do you do it? And she touches her forehead and her heart. How do you do it? How do how do you write a woman like that? And then that line, what you just said, so fucking brilliant. The writing in that film. And that was Brooks, not Mel Brooks, the other Brooks, James L. Brooks.
Yeah, James L.
His fucking writing is just so fucking good.
Oh, of course.
God, that guy can write.
Broadcast news, everybody. Broadcast
Hell
news.
yeah. And Broadcast News was a remake of His Girl Friday, which was a remake of the Front Page.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
There
So,
will
let me get
never
back
be
to-
another Jack Nicholson, that's for sure.
Yeah, right?
He's one of a kind.
I think the last really good film he did was All About Schmidt.
That was okay, but for me, it was like his
I thought it was
pinnacle.
beautiful.
Like, to me, his swan song of movies was As Good as It Gets, right? Like, that
Well,
was as good as it gets,
is
right?
It
Like,
really is. But what I loved about All About Schmidt was he absolutely made a character that was so fucking real that I forgot I was watching Nicholson in that one. And you never do that. You never do that.
oh, yeah, I forgot about The Departed was after As Good as It Gets. I know, I keep forgetting that. Yeah. Departed
wait,
is
that's right. Yeah,
amazing.
you
Like, I
did
just watched
Departed.
that last week, actually.
And it's a great film. It's a remake, I know, but I think he was very original And that was Scorsese, right? That was Scorsese.
Yeah. Well,
I think
it was
Scorsese took that
remake and kind of concept only. It was more based on the
Hong Kong
true
film.
story of what Whitey Bulger was actually up to. But yeah,
exactly. So, but anyway, getting back to the thank yous. Jacob, it was nice running into you back in Springfield, and it was so funny because I was eyeing him the minute I walk in because I have like a really good friend spot. I will spot friends, and I just was like a shark. I was beating in on him, and I'm walking around stuff in Walmart, going to him, and I stood about 10 feet from him, and he's just standing there doing his job, and then he goes. And it was really funny watching when he realized who I was. And I'm like, yeah, it's me. I loved it. It was good seeing you, Jacob. Rajneesh Sharma, thank you for being here. Real Wade Nation. It's always good to see you, my friend. Oh man, I can't go find it right now, but he's got a new channel. Go sub to him. Go look it up, Real Wade Nation. Christopher Carroll. It's nice seeing you. Christopher Moonlight. Shit. He wanted to join us, but he can't now because he's on a meeting. He's working on a film right now, doing some, I'm assuming visual effects. So I'm interested to find out what it is. Scott was not on the show, but he was in the chat. Good to see you. Stone Pine Media, which is a good friend of ours that we met through, well, Springfield, Keith and I. Wolverine 626, Bill Barkley. Bill Barkley is a limey that wanted to hear a story, and he forgot to ask me about it today. So, yeah, and it was like,
oh, thank God.
You're going to tell that story. And I'm like, I'm only going to do it if he remembers to ask me. And you said, oh, he'll remember. And he didn't.
You guys think listening to his stories is bad? Try listening to them twice.
Yeah. I'm an old man now. And we just live on telling those stories over and over again. My dad did it with me, and I'm going to do it to the world the way my dad did it with me. And I don't mean that in like some sort of weird...
Well, I wouldn't know that's a perk of having bad memory.
Oh, shit, Martin's here. I keep forgetting you're here, Martin.
See?
I want to thank Destiny Captain, Mighty Orbots, of course, Mead, Tom. Don't Call Me Wave, Stephanie Beatty, who is a friend of Keith's and mine. Adega Outlaw, Chris from Moonlight Productions. Chris, who was going to come on, but he couldn't make it. He got pulled into a meeting. Loki's Mornings of Mischief. It's always good to see Loki.
Apply the brakes.
The Dork Knight, Dan, who attempted to be on the show, but what I learned is he cannot drive and Zoom at the same time. Yeah, his brain doesn't work right, so he can't be like the rest of us.
He's a guy. He can't multitask.
That is true.
Oh, okay. Blame me for it, Bill. Thanks. He wanted to ask that question. Dragon Bricks, you'll have to save it for another day, man. Blame it on Keith. It's Keith's fault. Hashtag Keith's fault. Keith did it.
Bill, thank you
Joe's
for not
Atmosphere.
asking.
Willie, the Epic Monkey King. He is another member of the monkey community that has joined us. Shinatsky, Baked Bean, the Peter Vickman fan side. It's Courtney. It's always nice to see Courtney. And thank you, Courtney. I know you shortened your name because I kept saying something. Thank you.
Hey, Cam.
Cam? Yeah, Cam's here. Dennis McCullough. And, of course, again, Cam. Thanks, everybody, for communicating with us. Monkey Jeebus, thanks for being weird. I love you, man. You're so weird. You're weird in all the good ways, though. And I want to thank Tom for popping in the chat and on the show. I love hearing your opinion. Oh, stop sucking up to him. I'm not worthy. There we go.
Hey.
Dust Wolfen, John. War Monkey. It's good to see you. Just in time for the ending. I want to thank La Adelita for being here. Thanks for popping on with us. And absolutely, when I post that link, you are welcome on the show any day of the week.
Yeah.
Any day of the week. That's why I added you to the group. Now, John was added accidentally, and I can't. The problem is I can't remove him. Once you add somebody, you can't remove him. It's like, oh, fuck, I didn't mean him. But John
Gerry, I added her because you couldn't, because she only follows cool people.
Yeah, fuck it, Laudalita. Follow me back so I can.
I thought I
you.
did.
No, you didn't.
Oh well, oops. It must have just slipped my mind.
She says, she's saying to me, "Be just a little more gay friendly." You will absolutely find me an absolute friend of the gay community. I love the gay community. They have enriched my life in ways that, I mean, I wrote an entire script called Alternative Housing based off of the shit that happened when I moved in with my gay roommate. We had a gay landlord, and they had to convince him I was gay to move in because he would only rent to gay men. And
Hey,
they said, when I did that whole, like, I'm going to talk like this, and they said, don't do
That show has been done already, man.
Don't do that.
Yeah, isn't that
So
Gay
they
Three's
probably-
Company?
Yeah, well, they wanted me to be a bear. So they instructed me on how
Wait,
to
I'm
act.
confused because wasn't Three's Company technically already gay?
Yeah, it was. He was. Everybody thought he was gay.
That was the whole joke. Yeah.
That was the joke. And Tom's right. Spot on, dude. But with alternative housing, what I wrote about was how fucked up funny it was. We got evicted in one day because he decided to fix the motor on the fucking up on the roof. It was like a party area. And he had one of those hot tub like things that had a motor in it. And he had to replace it. And he was like one of these, he wore an ascot and he had perfect gray hair, perfect Van Dyke gray hair, came to a point.
Oh, yeah,
Very
he's gay.
impeccable. Professor. He was a professor at the university. And, you know, and I had to go through this whole, I had to be vetted by him. So I had to act like a bear because I was supposed to be Travis's new boyfriend. And so I get to move in. We are one fucking
This is kind
week.
of hilarious.
One fucking week we're there, and my girlfriend and I open the door, I walk out, I'm hot, sweaty, sex sweaty, fucking naked, and he's standing there with the motor in his hand, very properly like a surgeon. He's holding it up like this, and he just sort of looks at me, and I am there. There's nothing to miss. I'm just sweaty naked in front of him, and I'm like, hey, and then my girlfriend pops out behind me, and she's completely sweaty naked. And I'm like, oh man, in my head, I'm like, quick, Gerry, think of something. And I went, I'm bi.
Oh my gosh. I bet that didn't work.
He looked at me and Travis comes walking out of his room because our rooms faced each other. And he opened the door and he goes, hey, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? Because we're naked in the front room now. And he looks at the landlord, and the landlord looks at him and he says, Travis, if you will come upstairs with me so we can talk.
Ooh.
So we got dressed and went out to the car, and he came walking out with my cousin Aaron, and he goes, we're out. We got to go find a house, like right now. And we did. It was so fucked up, man. I just I couldn't believe that he was like in our living room just looking at me like, that was crazy. Yeah, getting evicted, living with gay people, it was fun. I had a great life. And Travis is still one of my closest friends to this day. I fucking love that guy.
Travis is fun, people.
No, I'm not talking about Travis Williams. I'm talking about Travis Smith. Because people think he's gay. Travis Williams is not gay. He just talks very emphatically. And so, like, they assumed that when we lived together that we were a gay couple. Seriously. People thought we were a gay couple. I mean, no, I like girls.
Another thing we have in common.
Gerry's like, don't be silly. I like girls.
Silly, I like girls.
I like how they
End
dress.
this stream before it goes so far downhill that there's no coming back. Cut it off.
Fuck. I am gay for this show. That's all I'm saying.
I am so gay for girls. You have
Sorry
no
for when
idea.
I started.
Oh, wow.
Well, Animal will tell you. I tell her all the time, I'm so gay.
I love to kiss them and what else do you do, the girl?
I'm just over here.
Yeah, John's like,
I love to do their hair
Hey,
and talk to them. And
Look,
I gotta tell you, Travis had a very specific mannerism that I found so funny because he'd be sitting there talking and he goes, oh my God, I was doing this playing. Oh, look, cigarettes. He would like anything he would see, he would like have to like announce, like, oh, look.
So he's like the dog from Up.
Yeah, well, that's what I described him as. He's like the dog from Up. He will, he'll like, squirrel. And anything that he would see would completely distract him with what he was talking about. He'd go, oh, look, they have cranberries. I'm like, what were you saying about somebody died of cancer? What? But one day I'm going to produce this probably as a play because it's a really good comedy, and it's all based in truth. There's nothing made up in the script, nothing, because I've lived an insane fucking life with some amazing fucking human beings. That's all I got to say. Yeah. Again, I want to thank Gap After Dark. He is, of course, the Gap previously known as Stargate. He's like Prince. He changed his name because of legal reasons. I'm still about 6 minutes out at 2 times the speed. I don't even know what that means, Penny. You've lost me.
He's watching the show at double speed.
Anima, thanks for dropping in. Martin, thank you always for being the right side of my brain and saving me from myself with the chat. You're amazing. You really are. And every time I want to talk to him, he's like, am I in trouble, boss? And I'm like, no. No, I need you.
Yeah, that's the problem. You need me. Don't
Martin.
love me.
You complete me.
And I want to say something here.
Yeah, buddy.
Look at this. Look at this. And then he wonders why I leave him off the list.
It's still going on, Marshall.
And he thinks he's punishing us by not joining the after show.
Yeah, I tell you, man.
What a jerk, right?
What a jerk.
He just doesn't believe in cuddling.
I'm gonna tell him. I was kind of teasing him about his name last night, and I made Anima laugh when I said it. Now I'll have to tell him in private. I don't want to do it on the show. Anyway, yeah, Marshall, join us in the after show to get a little talk. I'm not going to hang around very long because I got a bunch of stuff I got to do today. Pick up medication. Do my sexual gender assignment meeting. It's not for me. It's for a friend. And
oh, wow, I'm going to hear about that one.
This is why, Tom, when you and I do a show, I don't know what we're going to do, but you and I are going to have so much fucking fun. Whenever we get around to it. It'll probably be a year from now when it finally airs.
Yeah, the Trouble Twins.
It's just, I don't know. I get amused by Tom. Tom is one of the few people that I just want to fucking listen to when he starts joking. I forget that I'm on the show. And that's fun because he is very fucking funny. But you and I pretty much dominated a lot of the history and jokes for the Blazing Saddle Night. And
I just sent you a clip in the background that you could use when you're always picking. Yeah.
Would you send it?
When you're playing all your clips. Oh, it's just in the private chat there.
Oh, let me go.
I got to talk to you. Are you going berserk?
Okay, I'm 30 seconds.
Can't you see that man is a...
Yeah, let me...
That's classic.
Yeah, that scene is so good. I can't play it because I'm so worried about us getting claimed again.
Oh, yeah, that part. Yeah. It's like 30 seconds, so you probably would get claimed, yeah.
But the sheriff is a...
Yeah.
I just love it because the best part is after he turns back and he grabs Harvey Korman and he says the same exact thing. He never finishes it, which is the joke. It's hilarious. Like, you know.
Yeah, the bell interrupts him. And I love it when Higgins goes, he says the sheriff is nearer. No, you dang flaming idiot. Just fucking
authentic frontier gibberish.
And Tom, I said this because like I made the joke on the show when I did the comic book guy. I said, whitest panel ever. Because there's nothing but a bunch of white guys talking
this
about
is true. I didn't even think about it until you said it. Like, holy shit, yeah.
It's like, oh my God, we are a bunch of white guys talking about how fucking forward thinking that movie was, you know, and it took guys like Uden and Richard Pryor to do that, because the most racist parts of that film were not written by white guys. It was written by.
I think
brothers,
Paul
man.
Mooney had some to do with some of the writing on that too. If I'm not
Yes, yes, he did.
I would not be surprised because that guy's so fucking. He has got a cutting sense of humor.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, he wrote a lot of Richards material. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he wrote one too for another black comedian. I can't remember his name right now. And he did a college thing back in the late '60s. And this black comedian, he says, a lot of you, and he's talking to white students at this college, a lot of you white kids want to know why we brothers don't carry guns. Or he says, why we carry knives. That was it. Why we carry knives. Because you white people won't let us own guns. And I'm like, holy shit, he said that. And that was written by Mooney. That joke was written by Paul Mooney.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Mooney was a cutthroat.
Yeah, he went right for the jugular, dude. And Keith and I grew up in that era. You're a little younger than us, Tom. Not much.
Yeah,
I mean, you're
not
about.
much.
I think you're 10 years.
Yeah,
I think
10,
you're right at 10 years. And growing up in the 70s, I was exposed to Flip Wilson, Richard Pryor, and of course Vic Armstrong, who Keith finally got to meet. I was so happy when he came on the show. He was one of my childhood best friends. And I lived in the black community. I was like the only white guy in the black neighborhood. And if it weren't for them, I probably would have starved to death. Because when we first moved there, Dad couldn't find a job, didn't know how to get on welfare. And our next door neighbor says, oh, honey, you come here for every meal. If I find you hungry and not eating, I'm going to whoop your ass. You get in here and you eat. And she would give me snacks, and she fed me. And I was welcomed, embraced in the black community. There was never any feeling of anything untoward. And I was there right after desegregation. It was a year after in Fredericksburg. Because the story of that football team that I think Denzel was in took place the year before I moved to Fredericksburg. And it was just a lot of turmoil for like that 1 year. And then after that, it was free flowing, man. I never saw anything odd until like one time. I turned around and saw this kid that I played baseball with get punched by my friend Lance Ellis, I'm still close friends with that man. He fucking punched this guy and hit him so fucking hard that it sounded like two 18-ounce sirloin steaks being smashed together by hydraulic hammers. It was just so fucking loud, and I spun and I saw Frankie falling backwards, and he hit that concrete dugout so hard it sounded again like a wet fucking steak. And just so happened our coach was Frankie's dad, so he goes to attack and Ellis is like the fastest kid I ever saw. He ran a 4.040, and he just fucking beat ass across that field and smoked the coach and jumped over the fence and ran all the way home. And Victor and I, who Keith met, Victor, we were like, what the fuck? And then we found out what it was, is he used the N-word. That was like the only iteration I ever saw that happen the whole time I lived in Fredericksburg. It is weird because everybody tended to get along. And now we see this transition today where it's something else, where they're trying to go back and retard the process and get people at each other's throats again. And it's like, it's absurd. Keith and I don't like that. We don't like it because race relations were moving forward, and then somebody decided to stop it. We got to act like it's bad and tell everybody how bad it is and make people hate each other again. We need to segregate again. We're seeing segregation again. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But anyway, on an up note, I'm going to have a sex change. It's not for me. It's for
finally.
I want to be a boy. I'm looking at.
He's finally going to be a real boy.
She looks like she's like
a boy, Gerry.
So fucking bored right now. You look so bored, Lolita. You really do.
A little bit.
She's
ready for the stream to be over.
She's stunned beyond
stories.
I think she's stunned beyond the capacity for rational thought. Yes.
But Keith, in all seriousness, where are we going to be on the 17th and 18th of this month?
We are going to
You fucking fell for it again.
Hey everybody, I'll miss everyone but Gerry.